Exclusive branding experts warn Rachel Zegler backlash could ruin Disney's big budget Snow White remake and predict executives will be having crisis talks in order to win back fans ahead of 2024 release. These videos of Rachel Zegler have been out there for a long time, but they have been recirculating recently and they are bad. I mean, she makes Brie Larson seem like one of the most likable people on the internet. I mean, Rachel Zegler is objectively a terrible, unlikable person. She hates Snow White. She hates Disney movies. She has nothing but disrespect to throw against the role that she's been put into. And as Ryan pointed out, there's not even just people like us now. Even Disney fans are really frustrated with Rachel Zegler and a lot of her comments towards Snow White. She is 22 years old. She is extremely young. And it is kind of crazy, like, that she has just become so despised by the internet so quickly with videos that, again, have been around for a while, but it's like it's picking up steam. But I think people are just tired of the negativity from these people. So, like, here's one that just picked up. Sky News is talking about it. Sky News is now talking.
Sports was doing it too.
Sky News has got a fucking video on it. So woke Snow White actress Rachel Zegler trashes original movie.
That's wild.
Concerned about Disney's new Snow White remake, mostly because of what the lead actress has been saying to the press. Rachel Zegler has been described as a walking PR disaster for Disney's. We've heard the classic story before. Let's have a listen.
I do like Sky News.
I mean, awesome. You know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story. With a guy who literally stalks her. Weird.
But anyway, so a lot of different outlets are talking about it. A lot of different outlets are on top of this. We've got this video right here. This is from 10 months ago. Look at the ratio.
Yeah.
1,300 up, 13,000 down right here.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious. I watched it once and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it. Never revisited Snow White again. So I watched it for the first time in probably 16, 17 years when I was doing this film.
It's like she hates it.
And the way her facial, man, oh my gosh, she's like, ugh, I watched it again. It's 16 years. Oh my gosh, man.
This will be a disaster. This will be a complete and total disaster, and Disney deserves it.
It's disappointing because we're at this point now where we see a headline. It's like, hey, this actress or actor is going to be part of this new Disney remake. It's just like everybody at this point is like, please stop with the remakes. Like, we just don't want it anymore. Like, nobody wants it. Like, Disney adults don't want this anymore. Stuff like this does not help at all. It doesn't help. And then they released that picture of the 7 diverse characters as their as whatever they're supposed to be. They're not dwarves. I don't know. It started with that. Like, when people started seeing those pictures, they're like, is this really what's going to happen? They might as well have just made an adaptation and just called it like, well, we took parts from Snow White. It's not really Snow White, but we, you know, it's our own. Because this is definitely not what Snow White is. And again, we talked about it last night about the lack of respect for what came before, and to put these people in the position they have now, they wouldn't even be in this position if it wasn't for that original Snow White film, where basically Walt Disney, he said in a documentary that he put everything on the line for this movie, that he had another job lined up if it bombed. Like, he was like, if this goes out, I've lost everything and I'm going to get another job. And it was a huge success at the time and made Walt Disney Studios, where they popped out a lot of great stuff until like just recently. You add all those things up, it's like no respect, I don't care, I'm better than you kind of attitude. And it's wild to me that they think like this is okay.
I mean, like right here it says Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is a 1937 musical comedy fantasy animated film. It is America and the world's first feature-length animated film. It is also the first one in English and the first one in Technicolor. It was the first major animated feature film in the United States and the most successful one, released in 1938. This historical moment in motion picture history changed the medium of animation. Before 1937, short cartoons took up the majority of American animation. This is a historical film that changed the entire trajectory of the industry.
Exactly.
And she's just shitting on it like
crazy. They're letting her. That's the thing too. It's like, it seems seems like they just don't care. You know, Disney wrote this whole new script with whole new characters, with diversity hires, and they're like, yeah, the prince is going to be, you know, he's not going to be a stalker like the last one. We're going to do it this way. We're going to do it that way, and just say it's for a modern audience and they're going to love it. No, we're not.